Michael, thanks very much for being willing to share with the people that are watching this video some of the parts of the exciting story of Genesis Robotics. I think that it's pretty safe to say that Genesis Robotics was a world record pre-revenue hardware exit. And I think there's some really valuable stories and lessons that we can share here with other people to help them be more successful entrepreneurs and angels. So why don't you start out a little bit and just maybe describe how you came to know James, who was your co-founder. How did you guys start this idea, and how did Genesis Robotics come to be?
Genesis Robotics was birthed out of Genesis Advance. So Genesis Advance, James and I, our relationship started about 8.5 years ago. And I had heard about him through one of my other businesses. They told me about this inventor guy, and it was actually over a couple of years, and I kept hearing his name. I thought, I got to meet this guy. So sat down for a cup of coffee, planned on staying for an hour, and stayed for 5. So the Genesis Robotics, that was about a 3-year project that we've just finished in April, but that came out of Genesis Advanced.
And you and I met, actually I looked it up, in November of 2015 at a conference that I spoke at, and we started a conversation after. And I also looked, it took about a year for us to agree actually to do some work together and to sell Genesis Robotics. And what I'd like to sort of describe again for the viewers here is just kind of what we did together that made this such a successful end result. And I remember back when Genesis Robotics was just a part of Genesis Advanced. It hadn't even been spun out to a company when we actually got started together. Do you want to maybe just share a little bit about how that strategy developed to spin it out from Advanced?
When I heard you speak, I thought, okay, that guy is the guy who seems to be the guy who can get me to the destination I need to get to, which is one day bring this to capitalizing and selling it. And so I checked you out by going around. I knew, out of the, 300 or 500 people, wherever were there, I knew a lot of key lawyers and people in the room, and I went around and said, who is this guy, and what do you think of him? And so after about 4 different qualified references, as it were. They knew you, they knew who you were. They said, yeah, if you're doing robotics and you're doing a startup, and yeah, he's the guy. So I went and approached you, and I thought, hey, he was interested. It was quite exciting because this is all new to me. So we started our journey, of course, and I was learning straight uphill, as you, of course, know. But I was very thankful that you were there to guide us through it. It was wonderful.
Well, I was very thankful that you introduced me to this fun project. I mean, it's some of the most fun that I've ever had is working with your team and yourself on this amazing technology.
Except in the really painful, stressful parts.
Well, yes, I think it's, to be fair to people that are watching this, there were some pretty painful parts through it as well.
Oh, man. Thank you for being patient during some of those moments, because it was high stress, that's for sure.
Yes. There were some exciting moments,
yeah, it really
we can
was.
say.